Porn is destroying so many young men's lives. You have to understand, y'all, is that this whole pornography industry, which is sexual morality, and it is not something that God condones, this thing is now becoming $1 billion industry. Like, just the other day, y'all, there was a documentary that came out, right? It was like a mini documentary on YouTube. It was talk about how big the pornography industry has gotten. They talk about it's now bigger than Hollywood, Netflix, and another company. I forgot the name of the other company. All combined. Imagine that, y'all. Bigger than Hollywood and Netflix combined. You know how big Hollywood and Netflix is? Y'all gotta understand, man, this pornography stuff is destroying so many young people's minds. And in particular, young men. I'm not saying don't destroy women too, because of course it messes up their brain as well. And it's a spirit of lust. But I'm just going to speak from a man's point of view. This thing is destroying so many men's lives. Y'all gotta understand is that when y'all watch that stuff, you are getting a dopamine hit. Like, it's not funny, y'all, but it just, you gotta have to understand is that you are getting a dopamine hit when you watch that stuff. That stuff is messing up your mind. You got so many men, right, to where they don't even have no desire to even be married. They even have no desire to have a wife. They just want to sit there and just play with themselves, watching another man go at a woman on camera. Yeah, I'm just going to be very sensitive of the words I use because, we're in YouTube. I know there might be some kids or young people watching, right? But you have men like that has destroyed their minds so much to where they don't even want a woman no more. They don't even want a wife. They rather just sit there and watch a video, a pornography movie, of a guy banging another woman. I'm just trying to keep it PG, y'all. I'm just trying to keep the words very friendly. Of a guy trying to go at another woman on camera. And they rather sit there and play with themselves. Y'all, this is how the enemy is destroying so many of these men's minds. Now it is so bad, y'all, to where you got men in their 20s. I'm talking about, I'm in my 20s too. You got men in my age group in their 20s who are now having ED, erectile dysfunction, to where when they even get married, when they even do get a wife, they can't even perform with their wife. They can't be intimate with her because that thing has destroyed their mind so bad. Yo, I remember, I believe on the documentary, right? There's actually been studies about this, that these men, their mind is so gone by pornography to a point that they can't even get it up no more. They can't even get up. If you know what men naturally have when they're married and they want to be intimate, they can't even get it up no more. It's just, there's no intimacy. They can't perform for their wife. And the sad thing is, some of the men who said that they can't perform, they had to think about pornography in their mind to even be intimate with their wife. Now, what type of sick stuff is that? Well, you see, y'all, this stuff is destroying so many men's lives. It is hurting their lives bad. Y'all gotta understand, when you watch that stuff, it hurts your mind. It is going to give you a dopamine spike, and guess what? When we get a dopamine hit, it's going to give you the wrong illusion. Because now, you're just going to start to just view women as sexual objects. And now, you're just going to just think about sexual thoughts, nasty thoughts. It's just going to enter your mind. And this is how a spirit of lust enter you, and this is how this sexual morality comes in. Can understand this, yo. When you're watching pornography, it is sexual morality. The Most High God never told you. He never created you to just sit there and watch another man go at another woman in camera. And you sit there and just have fun with yourself. No, that's not what God created you to do. Understand this, y'all. This is basically how pornography is, right? You watching porn is no different than you seeing your neighbors, right? Let's say you got a house, right? Just say you got a house and your neighbors, they live right across from you. And you got a window and they got a window. And they forgot to close the blinds. And you're sitting there watching them go at each other. And now you just start to just stand there and stare and have fun with yourself while you watch them go at each other. While you play with yourself, while you watching them go at each other. That's basically porn when you watch a man and a woman go at each other on camera. You getting a dopamine hit and you over here fantasizing, doing stuff with yourself. Understand this, y'all. It's going to mess your body up. It's going to mess your mind up. You have men on video crying about how porn destroyed their lives. You have one man, I think he said he spent like $20,000. Can understand this, y'all? This is how dopamine works, right? You get people watch that stuff, you get one hit of it, right? It's just no different than you having a drug addiction or alcohol addiction, right? You start off with one video, right? You watch one video in a month. Now it turns to 2 in a month. Now it turns to 3 in a month. Now it turns to 1 every week. Now it turns to 1 every day. Next, you know, you're watching this thing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day. No different than people get addicted to drugs and alcohol. It's a spirit of addiction just like that. But you see, y'all, this addiction is going to destroy a lot of people's mind because you don't even want the real thing no more. You don't even have no desire for women. You see, Satan, that's the thing about the devil. Everything that God craves to the devil, he tries to find ways to pervert it. Right? Because Satan he's naturally rebellious against God. God created sex, intimacy between a husband and wife. It was created to be good. It was created to strengthen the bond between husband and wife. It was created so man and woman can have children together. To deepen their relationship. To show love to each other. But look how Satan did. He turned it and he perverted it. Now, y'all, you have a generation of men to where they even have no desire for women no more. And I've seen many videos of men in these social experience talk about they even want to get married. They even care about women no more. But the thing is, listen, y'all, I understand everybody in the Bible is not married because a lot of people are going to say, oh, the Apostle Paul, he was celibate. He was never married. But let's be honest, y'all. Majority of men cannot live like Paul. And let's just be honest, y'all. Majority of men in this world cannot live like Paul. Because Paul, the difference was with Paul and men like Elijah who were never married, is that they were single and celibate. That means single and no sexual morality. That means single and no porn. Single and no masturbation. Single and no fornication. Single and no adultery. So understand this, for y'all who are talking about you don't want no wife and all that, and you just want to be single and chill out, you gotta live like Paul. To where you follow in the Most High God and there's no sexual contact at all. I'm talking about no masturbation, no pornography, no fornication, no sleep with men's wives, no none of that. Single and celibate for life. But let's be honest, majority of men cannot live like that. And I see all this pornography is messing so many people's minds up. You got men right now who can't even go about their day while thinking about pornography. They can't even go about their day. They don't even want a natural relationship with a woman no more. They want to call a woman their wife. They just want to sit down and just watch these videos and just do stuff with themselves. And y'all, it's not just single men because, you know, you even got married men who are addicted to this stuff. There's even sometimes it's worse for married men because they're married. Sometimes their wives want to spend time with them, and yet the men don't even want to spend time with their wife. They'd rather sit there and watch a pornography movie. And the thing is, some of them be watching this stuff for hours. It be addiction, yo. It's a spirit of lust. They be watching this stuff for hours, and they're hooked. They can't get off. They can't even go about their. They can't even get stuff done. They just doing this, watching this stuff for hours, days. They can't even go out and fulfill their dreams and goals. For all you men who watch this stuff, you're going to need deliverance from the spirit of lust. You're going to need deliverance from the spirit of lust, the spirit of sexual morality. Because, you see, if you don't get deliverance, the spirit is going to wreak captive on your life because it's going to get worse. Y'all, like I said, there was a guy in a mini documentary in that video. It's on YouTube. Y'all probably seen it before. The guy said he spent $20,000 on pornography movies. Because you watch one video or one movie, it turns into another, into another, into another. And it destroys your mind, yo. To where, well, if you even plan to get married as a man, you won't even be able to even get up in bed with your wife. There will be nothing there. And that'll ruin your intimacy in your relationship, or that'll ruin your chance of having kids. This stuff is messing a lot of people's mind, a lot of young men's mind up. A lot of these men don't even want women no more. Y'all, you break out of that stuff fast and pray. Delete them videos, y'all, because this stuff is going to lead a lot of people to hell. Because, like I said, this stuff is sexual morality. Sexual morals shall have their part in the lake of fire, Revelation 21:8, y'all. The Most High God not going to let you into heaven when you watching that filth. Because it's filth. It's disgusting. It's nasty. You think God going into his kingdom, you watching that stuff? You watching men banging on a woman and camera, you playing with yourself? Come on, y'all. The Most High not allowing them into his kingdom. That's why you got to repent, because this stuff going to lead you to a lake of fire. Men, be smart. Stop watching that stuff. Lay off that stuff. Delete them videos. Stop with those OnlyFans accounts. Because this stuff is going to lead a lot of people to hell. It's already led a lot of people to hell. Be very careful, y'all, because Satan, he's perverted what God intended for good, and he's turned into something bad. These people who are behind this stuff, the creators of these pornography movies, the people who are over this industry, they're going to have a lot to tell God in Judgment Day because they have let a lot of innocent blood in their hands. Be very careful, y'all. Be very careful you giving. Be very careful the stuff you watch, y'all, because it's going to lead to a lot of people's demise.